Chief Minister Conrad Sangma, in the presence of Dalu MLA Branning Sangma, today inaugurated the much-awaited Dalu Civil Subdivision, which is the third civil subdivision of West Garo Hills District. The Chief Minister also inaugurated the temporary office of the newly inaugurated civil subdivision and encouraged the team of Dalu Subdivision to work with complete dedication by ensuring schemes are implemented for the progress of all villages and the people. The Chief Minister, via social media, stated that the government's priority is to bring all-round development for Meghalaya by bringing administration closer to the people, especially in areas where special attention is needed. In a bid to bring administration closer to people, Chief Minister Conrad Sangma today also inaugurated the new Purakhasia CNRD block at Southwest Garo Hills District. At Purakhasia, the Chief Minister also distributed financial benefits through the Focus Plus scheme for producers amounting to Rs 36.34 lakhs. He also distributed high-yielding variety of piglets and broiler poultry birds under the Rural Backyard Piggery and Poultry Scheme Progress to 300 pig farmers and 100 poultry farmers. Leader of Opposition and AITC Parliamentary Party leader Dr. Mukul Sangma today participated in an interactive session titled Town Hall in Conversation with Women, organized by the AITC at Aurobindo Ashram in Beaver Road in Shillong. Responding to a question placed regarding women's inclusion in the political scenario of Meghalaya, the leader of opposition said that the involvement of women in the process of democracy is extremely crucial and that his party has the desire and resolve to enable women to actively get involved in the democratic system and governance.
I believe very strongly, I want your point of view as well, Mr. Dr. Mukul, on this, that I believe very strongly that women in governance, in political, social, economic governance, as he has quoted just now, she's Dasumar Majal, the coffee maker. She's also into the economic entrepreneurship of changing the status quo of having businesses run by a woman. I mean, I'm very proud to say that, and I'm a very proud woman standing here. But also at the same time, I want to know your point of view. If we change that status quo and having all women in the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, what future do you see for the state of Meghalaya? What will happen to the engineering institution that has been laid down? I mean, you have told us that you have had the privilege to bring the sanctions for the engineering college that has been lying there, as a ghost building. Forgive me for saying this. But do you think that if women are in governance, we can change that? I believe we can. So what's your view on that?
I must tell you one thing, that I have, in my whole innings as a politician, given a special focus and priority on connecting the mothers, the women, even in building the organization. And that's when I became stronger, because the level of honesty, integrity, with no intent to offend man, for that matter, the level of honesty, integrity is much more pronounced and palpable amongst women. As a political party, we have witnessed as to what has happened across the nation. We have seen successful women embarking upon all those political innings to really shoulder upon the responsibility of governance. And as Trinamool Congress, we are proud that even our national chairperson is lady herself, Mamata Didi, Srimati Mamata Banerjee, the chairperson of All India Trinamool Congress. And she has demonstrated her commitment, dedication, honesty, integrity, and the resolve to live up to the expectations of the people. She has done much better than men. And even in the electoral battle as well, you have seen how she has been surrounded by men in the last election and how she has proven herself that a woman can defeat formidable opponents as well. The mighty conglomerate of all national leaders coming and engaging in the electoral battle, and she has proven that she can withstand that kind of onslaught and still defeat them and still remain focused on her commitment to serve people. Similarly, I think the first day when I met this young lady, Eljibarinja, I have known her. So, somebody whispered that she has some interest. We promptly say, come on, yes. TMC is a political party which must be taken as a platform by all such aspiring young women, young men, but particularly we would like to encourage women. Even while we were in the government, you have seen the party to which I belonged earlier. There also we had higher representative from women in the Legislative Assembly. Even now, the women representatives in the Assembly are from our party. So we would like to continue this momentum where we generate the kind of enthusiasm and we create that whole aspirations for the women to look at this space which is available in affairs of governance and make a difference. That's why we say, if you want to see change, be the change yourself. And that must come from mothers. They must encourage their young daughters, young children.
On the occasion of World AIDS Day, the Meghalaya AIDS Control Society under the Health and Family Welfare Department today organized a program at the old NIFT campus at Pasture Hills in Laumali, Shillong. Principal Secretary, Health and Family Welfare Department Sampat Kumar attended as the chief guest. Speaking at the program, the Principal Secretary informed that as per the AIDS Control Society's estimates, there are around 8,692 people living with human immunodeficiency virus in Meghalaya. However, only 4,900 of them are aware of their status. He also informed that 1% of pregnant women in the state test positive for HIV. Therefore, he said that there is a need for more awareness on treatment, prevention, and controlling the spread of the virus.
1%, close to 1% of the pregnant women are being tested with HIV, close to 1%. So that means there is a lot of because the women are coming forward for antenatal checkups. As a part of antenatal checkups, this also is being screened. So we do require support. As I said, if this happens, there is a cure. In fact, as there is a cure, there is a there is nothing, there should not be any stigma associated with this. So there is a proper systems are there. So I think that is another thing. And as Dr. D. Cruz gave in her presentation, we have about, as per the the estimates, we have about 8,692 people living with HIV, but out of them only 4,900 have known that they have the HIV. So that means about 57%. So remaining almost like 43% are not aware. A large number of pregnant women, large number means almost like 10 to 12% of pregnant women are teenage pregnant women. Are you aware of this one? So 10 to 12%. So we also, because it is happening because lack of knowledge. Many children, many young boys and girls, they don't know the safe period. So people should know about it. These are all the things we should not see it as something that we should not speak. We should know. Everybody should know what is. But I did this exercise in my office with all how many of you know safe period? In fact, very few people know about the safe period. So this is the fact. So we really require to speak about this, and so that we can actually overcome these challenges.
Speaking at the program, the project director of the Meghalaya AIDS Control Society, Dr. B. De Cruz, informed the gathering of the rights of persons living with HIV protected under the HIV and AIDS Prevention and Control Act.
We have seen that most of the people who are suffering from HIV, there always exists a certain level of stigmatization which comes along with the hardship which he already has to endure because of the infection. And in this regard itself, the legislature, keeping in regards the fundamental rights which we as citizens of the country have, has enacted this act known as Human Immunodeficiency Virus and Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome, Prevention and Control Act, 2017. In order to ensure that the fundamental rights of a person suffering from HIV is protected, and in case of any violation, the said person shall be in a position to enforce the same by the process of law. Since HIV Act is a lengthy act, I would speak only on the few aspects of the act. The first of all is the objective and the scope of this act. The objective of this act is to stop the stigma revolving around HIV and AIDS. Number 2 is to stop discrimination involving HIV and AIDS. Number 3, to punish people who are involved in the stigma development and discrimination involving AIDS and HIV, and to provide equal rights and opportunities to infected people. Now, the benefits of this act is that this act empowers a person living with HIV to disclose discrimination in housing, healthcare, education, public services, property right, public office, keeping and insurance. Number 2, it forbids the exclusion of HIV positive person from segregation. The acts itself read, no person shall by expression either spoken or written, print, spread, promote or convey the feeling of hatred against any protected person or community of the protected person by signs of visible representation or otherwise. Number 4, a person affected by HIV may undergo medical treatment, medical procedure or studies without informed consent. No, you cannot force any person who is suffering from HIV or AIDS under this act to go for any medical procedure or any medical care without his informed consent. Furthermore, without her consent, no HIV positive pregnant woman can be subjected to sterilization or abortion. So lastly, I'll speak about the penalties on the violation of this act. Now here comes the role of the court, under which it is observed that notwithstanding anything contained in the criminal procedure code, offences under this act shall be cognizable and bailable. They are cognizable if a person commits any offence under this act, the police is at liberty to arrest that person without warrant. But of course, the offences under this act are also bailable. So I'll discuss only a few important provisions under this act, which are Section 37. Section 37 of this act says that if a person violates any of the provision mentioned in Section 4 of this act. Now Section 4 of this act basically deals with the scope and objective of this act. So if I have already discussed the scope and objective, and these are basically mentioned in Section 4 of this act. So if any person violates any of the provision of Section 4, he will be punishable. The penal provision is Section 37. He will be punished with a term of not less than 3 months imprisonment to maximum imprisonment of 2 years with fine, which may extend to 1 lakh rupees or both. And the second one is, an individual will be penalized with fine that can stretch to 1 lakh rupees if he discloses infected person's HIV status without his or her permission or without the court's order. Number 3 is that no person shall subject any other person or person to be underdetermined on the ground that such person or person has taken the following action, namely, make a complaint under this act. So no other person can stop any other person from doing these things under this act. Make a complaint under this act. Every person is free. If his right is infringed, he can make a complaint under this act. Number 2, bring proceedings under this act against the person. He can file a complaint as there can be an FIR lodged against a person, and the particular person can also, the particular person whose right is being infringed or violated can also go to the court directly and file a complaint under this act. And furnish any information or produce any document to a person exercising any power or function under this act. So if the court asks any person that please bring, suppose a doctor, please bring the records of this particular person to the court, that doctor cannot be questioned because she is doing what is allowed in the act. Because with the court's permission, she can share the status. She can share the reports, she can share the documents to the court, and or appear as a witness in a proceeding under this act. So if there is a doctor, she is called to the court to be a witness. She can always come to the court and give her evidence.
Members of the central body of the Meghalaya SSA School Association today met with Deputy Chief Minister Prastun Tensong to urge upon the government to expedite the process to appoint the chairperson and members of the Meghalaya State Education Commission. It may be reminded that last month the Meghalaya Cabinet had approved the setting up of a 4-member Education Commission comprising of a chairperson, 2 advisors and 1 secretary. Speaking to press persons after, the association's president Aristotle C. Rumbui said that the Deputy Chief Minister informed that the government has set up a search committee headed by the Chief Secretary to appoint the chairperson and members.
Mentakasngi kala don kajing kendo jungi hapdeng jungi badi Deputy CM sa Presiden Tensong. Kidon arbenta ke kibangi discuss. Kabanang kong kalau nak kaliang jungi kinoi kai SSA ngi penpau ya kajing sungu ya ka MDE government under the leadership jong Chief Minister Sir Konrad Ki Sangma. Bat kumjuru ya ka initiatives kebala shim dai Deputy Chief Minister isa Presiden Tensong. Hakabay day ban constitute ya ka State Education Commission. Try pi kan mau barok ma. Agato ko por bagi penlong ya ka jingiki hang te ha parking lot additional secretariat. Hakabana kaliang jong ka government leng ba Deputy Chief Minister sa Presiden Tensong kila khot yang i sa kami jingi kren hak arpuit rik jong pra Julai aja pawat. Par hakato ka jingi kren jongi to ka jingi kendo jongi nakaliang jong Deputy CM ila ai commitment ini ba ya ki issue jongi kata ya ka enhancement of salary patkum juro na mantaban merge bani ban chief yo baro kino hikai SSA na po State Implementation Society sa po State Education Department on regular basis on address da ka State Education Commission kabakin sa tung tikuba kalong menta aku ba pilih tip hi bahaka kandai trik jong 9 November nakaliang jong ka cabinet kala ayak approval ban constitute ya ka State Education Commission te halor kane nakaliang jongi Meghalaya SSA School Association on behalf of all SSA teachers in the state of Meghalaya ngiwan ban ai kubai kerpang ya ka MDA government halor kane kabar ngilai kren badi Honorable Deputy Chief Minister ba lakno bakin penkloy ban appoint new chairperson bat kumjuro yaki members jong ni commission te nakaliang jong i Deputy Chief Minister badon brom ila pentip yangi manakaliang jong government kala de bantung ya ka search committee kala kli dan chief secretary but hakini kindet por kan sala ban tung ni penbana ya chairperson berkum juro ya members jong State Education Commission.
Reacting to a query regarding former Mausanram MLA H.M. Shangkliang's move to resign as a legislator and join the Bharatiya Janata Party, AITC Parliamentary Party leader and leader of opposition Dr. Mukul Sangma today said that the TMC had already anticipated that 2-3 sitting MLAs would shift and the party was already looking for alternative candidates.
See, as I have said, we did not take the names, but we know who are going to go where. These are all anticipated political offshoot. Rather, the decision which has already been made. We know. Therefore, we have our own strategy. As we have said that 1 or 2 or 3 elected representatives or sitting MLAs are bound to sit, not only from our party, from other parties also. So similarly, we knew how many of our sitting MLAs will decide to look for another political party for whatever reasons. Some reasons are, of course, because of the fact that the TMC also have decided to look at alternative, because it is not necessarily necessary that all the sitting MLAs will actually be potential candidate for the party to win the elections. We have to be very clear on that. Every sitting MLA will have the challenge of getting re-elected. That's a fact. How many of the sitting MLAs ultimately could not get re-elected in 2018? So also in 2030. It's a natural expectation And based on these overall political dynamics that unfold in a given specific time, we as a political party, we decide. And therefore, in respect of few constituencies where we have the TMC MLAs, we know that, okay, it's better for the political party to look for an alternative and have a different candidate. An alternative candidate, that's what's wrong. And we are already having candidates there. And the candidates who are going to win the election, wherever our candidates have gone, please remember, we will win those seats.
BJP MLA AL Haq today said that following Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma's intervention, the online computer-based nursing officers recruitment examination of NIGRIMS scheduled for the 2nd of December at 8 centers in Guwahati has been rescheduled for candidates from Meghalaya who cannot appear for the exam in view of the prevailing situation between Meghalaya and Assam. Candidates who cannot appear can send their response at helpdesk.nigrims@gmail.com.
So we have some student has come and met us, meet our State President Anes Mauri, Pak Sanbor Shulai, the Honorable Minister and myself, regarding the student who are going to be appearing their exam at Guwahati for their nursing from the NIGRIMS. So after we got the problem that grievances facing by the student, so we took up immediately and spoke to the Honorable CM of Assam. And we told that the center is going to be held at Guwahati, which is very difficult for our student coming from Shillong because of the prevailing situations. So definitely after we have appealed to the Honorable of CM, Shri Himanta Biswaji, he immediately took a decision and told the DC of Kamrup immediately to stop all the exam of NIGRIM to be held at Guwahati for the student of Meghalaya. So after that, then I spoke to the NIGRIM director, Dr. Mehta. I spoke to him 3 times this morning, and this notification is out now to reschedule to all the exams of the Meghalaya student of NIGRIM to be rescheduled in some other dates.
Speaking on the occasion of the 58th Raising Day of BSF Meghalaya, Inspector General Inderjeet Singh Rana informed that during the year, BSF Meghalaya has been able to seize smuggled goods worth over Rs 25 crores, including cattle, drug and narcotics, gold and various other items at the international border. He also informed that in addition, 123 miscreants were apprehended while violating the sanctity of the international border, comprising 61 Indians, 32 Bangladeshi and 30 Rohingyas. He added that troops of BSF Meghalaya have left no stone unturned to make the border safe.
The gallant role played by BSF during the militancy with Punjab, J&K and Northeast and in the areas affected by left-wing extremism has been applauded by one and all. The BSF Meghalaya frontier is strongly dominating about 444 kilometers stretch of international border with Bangladesh and undertaking various confidence building measures and public outreach programs to cement the relationship with border population of Meghalaya. BSF has distinguished itself with flying colors in each and every task assigned to it over the years.